the team of Benjamin and Gabriel Martin and Frenchman Jean Villeneuve, brave militia who fought for vengeance and American independence. Jack Sparrow, Will Turner, and Elizabeth Swann, rogues on the high seas that ran roughshod over the Royal Navy in their quest for booze, gold, and ships.
Who is deadliest? To find out how world-class fighters are testing history's most lethal weapons. Using 21st century science, we'll see what happens when the two warriors go toe-to-toe. No rules, no safety, no mercy. It's a duel to the death to decide who is the deadliest warrior.
In the fictional Fight Club, our team of experts has gathered for the first time to conduct a 6-person tag match. In an action-packed battle to the death, two teams that menace the mighty British Empire go toe-to-toe. The militia of Benjamin and Gabriel Martin and Major Frenchman Jean Villeneuve, and the unlikely trio of pirates Jack Sparrow, Elizabeth Swann, and Will Turner will all go head-to-head in a battle to the death. Going over the history of the golden age of piracy is Clovis DesChelles.
When we talk about the golden age of piracy, we generally mean the period between 1650 and 1730. The movies we will be looking at today are probably set in the period between late 1720s or early 1730s. But first, what is a pirate? In short, piracy is the robbery and destruction of property on the sea. So a pirate will be someone carrying out those activities. Some of the world pirates of that period are Bartholomew Roberts, Edward Teach, aka Deadlier, from which all the stereotypes in pirates, at least most of them, derive from, and William Kidd, also known as Captain Kidd. Now, piracy is slightly misunderstood because it was actually a floating democracy. The captain could be elected by the crew, and he could be removed from his position if he failed to provide the loot. And the loot would be divided between the captain and the crew, and the higher your position, the higher percentage of the loot. Now, though it's romanticized by Disney and Hollywood, pirate life was a bit different because really you had a hodgepodge of material stolen from a ship, and medical supplies were in shortage. So whenever they were in town, they would seek all those medicine to cure those venereal diseases. Now, the pirates we will be looking at today all have their own unique characters. You have Jack Sparrow, who is more cunning than a fighter. So he will fight you, but more to outsmart you. So he can put you in a weaker position, so he can kill you on that spot on his terrain instead of the opponent. You have William Turner, who is an expert swordsman, and not only that, he is blacksmith, and he makes his own weapons, which makes him an expert swordsman. And then you have Elizabeth Swann, who just tags along and manages to learn how to sword fight and shoot a gun. Prediction for this match will be with Team Pirate because of Jack Sparrow's wit, the skills of William Turner, and he can throw his sword, which most people can't, and that would be pinpoint accuracy. And Elizabeth Swann, because she's a cheerleader. She's there for the support and manages to get a few kids killed.
Medical consultant and military correspondent Jason Basilone.
It should also be added I'm the one who supplied all the technological crap we have, so you're welcome. Unfortunately, we know very little bit about Benjamin Martin. It seems most of the documents about him have been lost to history. But what I can tell you is that he was a veteran of the French and Indian War. His wife died, we don't know, it was never explained, and he had 7 children. But fictional, leaving that part aside, he is based on actually a number of different people. One of them, named Francis Marion, who is actually considered to be one of the grandfathers of modern-day guerrilla warfare, and he is also known for what they would say, help create what we know now as the modern-day United States Army Rangers. What's my prediction? This one, I'm going to have to go with the Patriots. The main reason is, while the pirates may be disciplined in naval warfare on the sea, I feel when it comes to land warfare, they're not as organized and they're not as disciplined as the Patriots are. And especially the fact, you know what, just to go with it, cut it short, I'm going to go with the Patriots.
Going over the weapons and tactics of the 18th century is Bruce Octavius, Deadliest Fictional warrior, scientist, and weapons expert. This is going to be a pretty unique episode in the history of Deadliest Fictional Warrior. It's the first time we've ever had archaic firearms on the show, and what that really means is that we're going to be seeing some new tactics for the first time, too. As you should know, the black powder firearms were generally inaccurate, and by inaccurate, I mean you couldn't hit the sky if you aimed at it at anything more than 150 yards. So what that required was some close-quarter combat skill as well, which is why you had bayonets and swords still in use despite gunpowder ruling the day. As to what my prediction for this fight is going to be, well, at long range, I can definitely see some advantages for the Patriot militia. Benjamin Martin is an experienced veteran of warfare, and he, in terms of military and combat experience, he absolutely shits on the pirates. Let's get that clear. But he also is armed with a Kentucky rifle, an early rifle, which means that the barrel is grooved. Grooves are cut into basically the steel of the barrel, and what that did was it twists the bullet around, which means the shot is more aerodynamic and thus can be shot from further distance and is far more accurate. So that's definitely going to be a plus on Martin's side. Also, the fact that he can use stealth, and he can teach his son how to do that, and Major Villeneuve. All three of them seem to have a much more cohesive experience of actual combat than pirates, which are basically glorified thieves. So I think their close quarters combat skills is also going to be enough to stave off the pirates, even though they generally have swords for close combat instead of knives, which definitely gives them an advantage if, you know, the muskets, single-shot muskets run out of powder, or if you shoot and miss. But I think because of the long-range power, my prediction is that the Patriot militia, led by Colonel Benjamin Martin, is going to win. And I'm sorry if that was a bit wordy, but there you go. There's a snippet of 18th century warfare. First come the long-range weapons. The Martins demonstrate first with their Kentucky rifle and Charleville musket combination. Alright, so first up we've got Gabriel Martin demonstrating his Charleville 69 caliber musket, which is basically the French equivalent to the British Brown Bess. And then we're going to see Benjamin Martin with his Kentucky long rifle. So what do you think?
I don't know, you're actually the weapons coordinator, so...
I think it's going to be fun, because this is, as I said, the first time we've ever seen archaic firearms on the show before, so it's a unique time in Deadliest Fictional Warrior history.
So you're welcome, viewers. That was actually my idea. And also the tag team, so...
Let's go out to the range and see what we got.
It's just know the years.
And it is still raining on a day it's not supposed to rain. Alright, so there's the range, Gabriel. Let's see what that smoothbore musket can do. 3, 2, 1, fire. Not bad. What do you think?
Well, let's just say the damage seems like it's pretty, what's the word for it? Can you help me describe the, like...
It's a pretty big hole. I mean, this is a 69 caliber weapon. It's a much larger caliber than you'll find in most of your average firearms these days.
Well, definitely it will kill you, but if it doesn't, it's going to leave you with some,
it's going to put a big hole in you, brother, as we can see right here. It might not have the velocity of a modern firearm, but because of the mass of that bullet, it's still going to do a lot of damage.
Yeah, it will take out your arm. It won't take off your arm, but it will definitely do damage to your vital parts. If it doesn't go for your organs, it will definitely take out a bone, which will lead to amputation, and pretty much to...
yeah, because we know how that worked back in those days.
Exactly.
Not bad on the reload time either, although I'm pretty sure that last guy didn't actually get killed in the movie.
No, well, because to my knowledge, it went like probably somewhere around here, if I could remember.
Or he missed, but you know what, we could cut him some slack. What I don't like about this, not bad on the reload. What I don't like about these archaic firearms, you got to be really close, or if you're going to hit a single target, you better be pretty close, or best of luck.
I was also going to say, he's not professional Army, although he's had the time.
He was in the Continental Army, but he went back to the militia. So I think the pirates are going to suffer from the same disadvantage here. So let's compare this right now with his father's Kentucky long rifle, and you're going to be surprised at how much of a difference that rifle can really make.
Well, I was actually just going to say was that really, this is the only war he's been a part of. His father, as I mentioned earlier, was a veteran of the French India, so he had another war that he's had time to do. So.
All right, so Benjamin, let's see if you can outshoot your son with that Kentucky long rifle. 3, 2, 1, go.
Well, let's just say I don't think Lord Cornwallis is going to be happy, nor King George. I think
that rifle really does make all the difference, as you can see. Not as big of a caliber, but it's way, way more accurate.
And you can tell he's had experience with this weapon.
And he was pretty close, but one advantage he's going to have over those pirates is he could hit them from much longer than they can hit him. So one other thing I want to mention was he was really good on that reload time. And one thing that was a major drawback for early rifles is that it took double the reload time of a musket because of all the carbon buildup in that barrel. But Martin seems to have cleared it out very nicely.
And remember, aim small, miss
aim
small.
Small, miss small. There you go. Okay, pirates.
Can you do any better?
I don't think you can, but give it your best shot. Literally.